What would it mean to you to be a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Oh, man. It's very humbling to be considered, be recognized for something that I truly played just because I enjoyed playing the sport. Mm-hmm. I've always been really indifferent towards receiving any sort of recognition outside of these sort of things, whether it be Pro Bowls or Player of the Week, the years and all that, given that it's such a beautiful team sport that we play. But I could also, in the same breath say, man, there's a lot more players on the defense that were definitely more valuable or just as valuable as I was, and that kind of, led this new Steel Curtain 2, through the period of time that I was there at the Steelers.
Right.
Also, I can also, think of a handful of other players in the league. Had they had the teammates that I had they had the coach that I had, probably could have been more successful. So I'm very real in kind of how I view these sort of things. But I can also say that I also am indifferent towards really putting validity on these sort of awards as well.
Right. Troy Polamalu, answer me this. The Steelers right now, there is no Big Ben Roethlisberger. Le'Veon Bell is now a New York Jet. Antonio Brown is out of the league for the time being. Juju Smith-Schuster's been injured. James Conner has been injured. You got a fourth-string quarterback, and Devlin Hodge is leading the way. With backups everywhere, and Mike Tomlin is still 7-5, and if the players were to begin today, the Steelers would be in it, having won 6 of their last 7 after a 1-4 start. How the hell has he done it, and what is it about Mike Tomlin that people simply do not appreciate enough of?
Well, I think that culture really means a lot, especially to the Pittsburgh Steelers locker room. I know other organizations have won with different, with a different chemistry. Mm-hmm. But the Steelers definitely have had a players first mentality. Have definitely had the locker room, a huge presence within the organization. So I would definitely say internally, first of all, with the team captains and team leaders being able to make sure that everybody's on the same page is really a big part of that. Obviously, the coaches and what they're able to do without the starters that they had before is really huge, which comes also from the scouting department and those sort of things. But we always kind of said internally inside the locker room was, if you just give us a shot at the playoffs. And I think that's what this Steelers team really still believes, is that if you just get us to that locker room, we're going to be really dangerous and make this run. And they've shown all the characteristics of that with obviously losing your starting quarterback, receiver, running back, backups and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Also, I would have to put an onus on a really great play from the defense.
Yeah.
And keeping them active. The safety position, I think Fitzpatrick has been awesome. Those turnovers are priceless.
He's something special,
especially when you're going to be. Absolutely, especially when you're winning these games by very little. Those things are real big point swingers.
Right.
So I would attribute to all those different factors. Great leadership in the locker room. Obviously, the team and Coach Tomlin able to keep the team together, and great play from the back end as well.
Troy, I got a couple of questions before I let you get out of here. Troy Polamalu, all-world safety for the Pittsburgh Steelers from like 2003 to 2014, on the ballot to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, the 2020 class Hall of Fame, Pro Football Hall of Fame class, right here with Stephen A. on ESPN Radio, ESPN News. You've watched a team within the Steelers division, within the AFC North of the Baltimore Ravens, running roughshod over most of the competition for the vast majority of this season. You've watched this kid, Lamar Jackson, who in a lot of people's eyes is the leading candidate for league MVP honors. What has it been like watching him, and how would you have defended against this guy? I mean, because I don't know if I've seen anything quite like him. Talk to us about that for a quick second.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen anything like him. But it also seems that on a week in, week out basis, there's a lot of quarterbacks that really are true dual threats. You know, they can throw the ball, they can run the ball. And also, I think when you have that sort of dual threat and you're having all these sort of fly motions, and, you know, it recreates a lot of one-on-one matchups. And when you have so much talent on the offensive end, whether it's receivers, you know, back when, you know, not too far back, but when I was playing, you know, a lot of times you'd say, oh, man, I could load the box, let our corners, you know, win their one-on-one matchups on the outside. Or you can say, you know, for a quarterback that's truly a pocket passing quarterback, it's, oh, man, let's just make him move his feet. We can drop as many as possible as long as, you know, we have him moving in a bad direction and throwing off balance. But now you have quarterbacks that really can do it all, as well as, you know, surrounded by specialists that are just as talented as well. I don't know what I could have done, to be honest with you. I definitely would have wanted to be, you know, in the action and want to get my hands on a quarterback like Lamar, but nobody's been able to do it. One thing I do understand about this league, that when you have somebody who makes waves, you know, like Lamar or any of these really talented quarterbacks like Patrick, is that these defensive coaches won't take long to figure it out.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.